Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Victoria. If you are new here, hello, nice to meet you. Today I have a power center workout for you. This means that we're focusing on our core, on our glutes, and on our arms, because you know what they say, the center is the powerhouse of the cell, you. When you're ready, let's get started. I forgot to mention in the intro, but if you want to use a band, you can. It's completely optional. It's just a little loop band that I have. You can do everything without it and you would still feel it. So it's entirely up to you if you want to give yourself that extra resistance. But we are going to start with the loop bands around our thighs. So kind of maybe mid-thigh, maybe a bit lower, closer to your knees. And we're gonna come into relaxation. So you're gonna come down into relaxation. So feet bent, not feet bent, knees bent, feet on the ground. The band is around your thighs if you're using it. And then just taking stock of that spine, you want that back of your ribs to be nice and actively pressing into the mat with a bit of that space in that lumbar for your neutral pelvis and spine. And your arms are just gonna be long down by your side. So let's just start with some hip curls, mobilizing that spine and that hip. So tucking that tailbone, rounding it against the mat, we're gonna send the hips, pushing into our heels up until we're roughly on our shoulder blades, drawing one long line from your knees to your chest. And you're slowly melt all the way back down in reverse, melting your ribs, the mid-back, keeping that tuck in that pelvis until you're all the way back down in the mat, and then you're refinding that neutral pelvis and spine. So exhaling to find that tuck as you peel that spine all the way up, inhaling at the top, keeping those ribs nice and soft, and then exhaling to slowly come all the way down. You're just gonna keep going in your own time, trying to really feel that articulation bone by bone as you come up and down. And that core is going to help control that movement, especially on the descent. So gravity isn't just yanking you all the way down. Let's just do 2 like this. Squeezing those glutes just to help support that lift. Last one. On our last one, we're going to stay up in the shoulder bridge. Sorry, this noise is bothering me. I hope you can't hear it. And we're going to find some abduction and adduction rolls in our feet. So you're going to roll onto the outside edges of our feet. Your knees are going to open and splay. And you're gonna feel your glute and the outer thigh starting to activate, especially as it pushes against the resistance band. And then you're gonna slowly come the other way, squeezing your thighs together. Exhaling to roll onto the outside of those feet, squeezing those glutes, sending your knees apart, and then inhaling to squeeze your knee in. And as you move your knees in and out, just make sure that your hips aren't dropping. Your glutes are still nice and active, just trying to lift. Keep the pelvis nice and lifted. Let's just do one more in each direction. And then when you're done, returning those legs to that hip distance, and you're slowly melt all the way down, bone by bone, until you're on the mat in neutral. And let's just windshield wiper those legs for a little. It's probably a little bit intense in the glutes right now. Rolling over to our side now. You can keep the band around your thighs if you're using them. We're going to try to line ourselves up with the back of that mat. So head, spine, and legs all in one line. Let me try to not fall off the mat. Your head is going to come down onto your arms. Okay, So you want to look down just briefly just to make sure that your hips are stacked on top of each other. Your left hand can come forward or your top hand can come forward for a bit of stability. You want to be active in that center just so we're not collapsing into the mat. And on your next exhale, you're going to lift those legs using your left oblique, pushing your right hip into the mat. Then you're going to come all the way back down with control. Double leg lifts. Exhale to lift and inhale to lower. And you want to keep those legs nice and stuck together. Your hips are facing forward, your knees are facing forward. Let's just do 3 and 2 and 1. And we're going to hold it there on our last one. So we're keeping those legs nice and hovered. On your next exhale, you're going to lift that top leg, just slightly squeezing at the glute. Again, trying to keep those knees tracking forward and then bring it back down. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Let's just do 5 and 4, 3, 2, last one. And then you're going to bring everything down. Give yourself a nice bit of a break. Nice little breather. And then we're going to come up onto our forearms. So elbows underneath our shoulders, palms face down. Maybe you want to shuffle a little bit forward, but you want to keep that straight line from the head all the way to the legs. My hair is crazy. Okay, so you're going to bring your left arm up towards that ceiling. And you're just going to shift, you're going to roll back slightly onto the bum as you lift those legs, keeping them together, and you sweep those arms down. So now they're in parallel lines, you're in this sort of side teaser, pushing your elbow into that mat. And you're going to slowly bring those legs down as your arms come back up. Then you're going to sweep the arm up and over. As you rotate the chest towards the mat, you're keeping those hips nice and stacked, so it's just a rotation in the chest and in the torso. And then you're going to come all the way forwards, hand reaching up. Exhale to find that side teaser. Inhale to bring those legs down, rolling into that side position, and then sweeping the arm up as you find that chest rotation. I don't know why my elbow's over there. Okay, so you're going to place your elbow down, forearms and hand pressing into the mat. You're pressing away from the mat, ears away from the shoulder. You're going to bring that left arm up towards the ceiling. Keeping those legs nice and stuck together. You're going to roll slightly backwards onto that right bum cheek, lifting those legs and sweeping the arm down. So now you're in this sort of side teaser position, arms and legs parallel. Bringing the legs down, reaching the arm back up. Then we're going to come up and over with that arm as you rotate your chest towards the mat, keeping those hips nice and stacked. So we're not tilting in the pelvis, where it's just a thoracic twist. Coming all the way out of that twist, arm comes all the way back up towards the ceiling. Exhaling to lift those legs, bring the arm down, chest open, and then coming all the way back, sweeping the arm over your head to find that chest rotation. Let's just do 2 more like this, going nice and slow, nice and controlled. If you shift a little bit, that's totally fine. I'm also shifting. Trying not to throw yourself back and forth with the momentum. And then when you're done, we're just going to come up and go onto the other side. So, finding that nice line from head to toe, resting our head on our arms, Finding a bit of that core activation, we're gonna take those double leg lifts. So exhaling to push the left hip, pull with the right oblique, lifting those legs, and then bring it back down. Exhaling to lift, inhaling to lower. Keeping those legs together, hips stacked on top of each other, knees tracking forward. Let's just do 3, 2, 1, holding it up. We're gonna lift that top leg up and then bring it back down. Exhale to lift, inhale to lower. Moving from the outer glute. We're here for another 3, 2, 1, and then bring everything down with control. Again, maybe you want to shuffle forwards a little bit for the teaser. Coming up onto your forearms, elbows underneath the shoulders, and you're still finding that nice straight line from head to toe. Okay, pressing into the mat, elbows away from those ears, right arm reaching up towards the ceiling. So when you're ready, we're going to shift over slightly, tilting that pelvis back to lift the legs up, and you're sweep the arms down into that side teaser, opening up in that chest. Rotating all the way back into that side lying, and then you're just going to sweep the arm over as you rotate in the chest. Towards the mat, keeping those hips nice and stacked. Rotating back out, arm goes back up towards the ceiling. So exhaling to find that side teaser. Inhaling to lower. Exhaling to reach over, find that chest rotation. And then inhaling, hands back up towards the ceiling. Let's just do another 2 like this, going nice and slow. Again, try not to throw your weight around. So all of this is being initiated from the center. Last one, wherever you are. And then when you're done, you're just going to push yourself back up. And again, we're going to leave the band on around our thighs. We're gonna come up into 4-point kneeling. So wrists underneath our shoulders, knees underneath our hips. Again, thinking about that spine, you want a little bit of curve in that lower back. Your ribs are nice and supported by your center. Soft bend in those elbows, and the back of your head is reaching towards that ceiling. So we're going to drop our elbows where our hands are, making parallel tracks with our forearms, and our palms are pressing into that mat. And we're just trying to keep that back nice and straight, exactly where it was before we dropped our elbows. Let's take some press-ups. So pressing into the hand, you're straightening at the elbows, keeping the spine and head nice and still, and then bring it all the way back down. Exhaling to lift the elbows, inhaling to lower. So really using that center to try to keep everything else nice and still. It's just your elbows straightening and bending. We're just here for another 4, 3, and 2, and 1. Okay, keeping your elbows where they are, you're going to extend that right leg behind you, keeping those hips nice and square. We're gonna do some leg sweeps, some leg arches. Lifting it up, we're gonna send it over to the other side, rotating in our hips, trying to tap your toes to the left side of that mat, and you're gonna sweep it up and kick it over to the right. So your toes don't have to touch the mat or touch the ground, that's totally okay. We're just trying to find that range of movement. Keeping those hips nice and still, nice and square to the mat. Pushing your elbows against the mat so you're not sinking into it. Let's just do another 2. And then 1. And you're gonna bring your leg back down, slide it back under, and let's do the other side. So exhaling to draw the left leg out, just sweep it up and over to the right, tapping it, up and over to the left, tapping it. Just breathing however you want. Again, we're moving from the hip flexors as well. So your pelvis is trying to stay straight. Your core is going to kick in to help that. But you're also trying to find that range within that socket of that leg. And let's just do another 2. One last one. You're going to bring your foot back and slide that knee under. And let's just press back. Give yourself a nice bit of a rest. And you're gonna come up into 4-point kneeling once again. So now your wrists are back underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Soft bend in that elbow, flat back. And let's just take our donkey kicks. So we're going to keep the leg in that same 90-degree angle, moving from the hips, pulling with the glutes. We're going to send our toes up towards the ceiling, and then bring it all the way back down. Exhaling to lift, inhaling to lower. Keeping an even weight between those knees and the hands, trying not to shift forward. Your core is just actively working to keep that spine nice and straight. Let's just do another 4, 3, 2. Keeping those hips nice and level. 1. Bring that knee back down. Maybe shift back just to give your wrist a bit of a stretch. And you're gonna come back forwards when you're ready to do the other side. So I'll shift over to this side so you can see. Soft bend in that knee, flat back, and then let's just do the same thing, moving from the hips, squeezing with the glute, sending the toes up. Exhaling to kick up, inhaling to lower. Again, trying to keep even weight between the hands and the knee. Trying to center yourself as well. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1 last one. Place that knee back down, and you're gonna push yourself all the way back into child's pose. Just breathing here for a few breaths. Maybe you wanna rotate your wrists in one direction, and then the other. And on your next exhale, let's slowly roll all the way up. And we're gonna come into standing. So again, you can keep the band on your thighs. If you want, you can just try it, but let's do some standing figure 4s. So you're going to bend at the left knee. You're gonna cross that right ankle over, trying to flatten out that foot. And you're just gonna slowly bend as you reach down to the mat. Hands on the mat. You can bend deeper into that left knee if you want a deeper stretch in that glute, or you can keep it relatively straight. But yeah, the band just kind of helps to stretch it out a little bit more, but you really want to try to push, so you're trying to push the right knee down towards the mat. It's folding over, letting the head drop. We're here for a few, maybe 1 full breath. And then let's uncross that leg. You can just do it however you want, really. You can stand back up. Again, bend into that right knee. This is very elegant, but whatever works. Again, just folding over it, making sure that it's your left leg now or the opposite leg. Trying to send that knee towards that mat so you feel a nice deep stretch in that glute. If you lean forwards a bit more, it won't be as intense. If you lean towards your heels, it's a bit more. So just finding whatever works. Letting your head drop. And when you're done, let's just uncross those legs. And we're just going to slowly roll all the way up into a standing position. And let's just do some quick side reaches. So finding nice stable base, both feet evenly on the ground, nice soft bend in those knees, arms down by our side. We're going to sweep our right arm up and then find that side bend. And then coming all the way up, bringing your arm down. Inhale to sweep that arm up. Exhale to find that side bend, thinking up and over. Inhaling at the top, and then exhaling to stack all the way up. Let's just do 2 more on each side. Last one. I apologize for the noise once again. Oh, I think I just said one. I said two on each side, right? Let's just do 1 more on each side. Last one, evening out wherever you are. And then you are all done. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today. I hope you enjoyed that strong center flow. I hope you have a lovely rest of your week, and I will see you next time. Bye.